Humans often confuse craving with connection. They miss people who made them anxious. They chase people who rejected them. They obsess over people who caused pain. From a logical perspective, this behavior seems irrational, but human behavior is not rooted in logic. It is shaped by biology, trauma, memory, and need. This video explores the paradoxical psychology behind why humans crave those who hurt them. Because it isn't about the person, it's about the pattern. 1. Intermittent reinforcement. The slot machine effect. One of the most powerful psychological hooks in human relationships is intermittent reinforcement. This occurs when positive outcomes are delivered unpredictably. A partner is cold for days, then suddenly warm. A friend disappears, then returns with affection. This creates a cycle of uncertainty, and the brain becomes addicted to the high of temporary closeness. It is the same mechanism that keeps people pulling slot machine levers. They never know when the reward will come, so they stay longer, trying harder. This form of reward conditioning wires the nervous system to equate emotional instability with emotional intensity. And intensity is often mistaken for love. Even after the person is gone, the brain continues to crave the next hit. 2. Childhood imprints and familiar chaos. The nervous system remembers what the conscious mind forgets. If someone was raised in an environment where love was inconsistent, conditional, or emotionally unsafe, that pattern becomes their baseline. As adults, they are drawn to partners who recreate this emotional blueprint. Unpredictability feels normal. Emotional withdrawal feels familiar. Conditional love feels deserved. This is not conscious. It is the result of attachment conditioning. The child learned, I have to earn love. I have to chase safety. I have to manage other people's emotions to stay connected. So they grow up craving emotional dynamics that mirror those early lessons, even if it hurts, because it feels like home. 3. The illusion of closure and unfinished stories. When someone leaves suddenly, betrays trust, or offers no resolution, the human brain struggles to process the emotional data. This creates cognitive dissonance, the psychological discomfort of an unresolved story. Humans crave closure, and when they don't get it, they seek it out in compulsive ways, rereading old messages, replaying conversations, stalking social media, fantasizing about reunions. But this behavior isn't about reconciliation, it's about completion. The mind loops the pain in hopes that revisiting it will provide relief. But often it only deepens the craving. Not for the person, but for the ending that never came. 4. The ego's need to prove. Worth being hurt by someone often activates a primitive need to prove them wrong. The ego interprets rejection as evidence of inadequacy, so it becomes obsessed with reversing that perception. If they come back, I must be worthy. If they regret leaving, I win. This dynamic turns pain into a mission, not a healing process, but a performance. You improve to be seen. You pretend to be fine. You use success as revenge. The craving becomes symbolic. It's no longer about the person. It's about restoring self-esteem through external validation. Ironically, the person who caused the wound becomes the one we want validation from most. 5. The chemistry of trauma bonds. Trauma bonds form in relationships with cycles of abuse and reward. This pattern floods the body with intense chemicals: cortisol during conflict, dopamine during resolution, oxytocin during reconciliation. Over time, this creates a biological dependence. The body becomes addicted to the emotional roller coaster. Breaking the bond leads to withdrawal symptoms, anxiety, insomnia, emotional cravings. This is not just psychological, it is chemical. People return to toxic dynamics not out of weakness, but due to neurochemical conditioning. The craving isn't imagined, it's embedded in the nervous system. 6. Loneliness as a trigger for nostalgia. In moments of loneliness, the brain seeks comfort. and memory becomes selective. Pain is blurred, red flags are forgotten. What remains is a filtered version of the past, a highlight reel of what felt good. This is called rosy retrospection. It is a survival mechanism. The mind distorts the memory to protect from the present emptiness. So even if a relationship was harmful, the idea of it becomes soothing. People don't miss the reality. They miss the illusion they created from the pain. And they crave that illusion when the silence becomes too loud. Humans often mistake craving for caring. But craving comes from deprivation, not love. It comes from the need for resolution, the hunger for familiarity, the addiction to emotional spikes. To break the craving, one must break the pattern, not by denying the pain, but by recognizing what the pain is teaching. I was conditioned to chase what felt familiar, not what felt safe. I was taught to prove my worth, not to believe it. I am not craving them. I am craving who I hoped they would become. Healing begins when reality is chosen over illusion, when peace is valued over intensity, when love is defined not by longing, but by safety, reciprocity, and truth. Craving is a signal, not of who belongs in your life, but of what still needs to heal.